Alright folks, welcome back everyone. 皆さんお帰りなさい。今日は12日目です。Is day 12. Got a couple things. A couple things from yesterday. Trying to rope in that stuff. Things are kind of stacking up now. Working on moving over to a more active recall, adding active recall in various places. So yesterday's week 1 was null being the normalizer, right? And then skip for liking to do something. And there was ga aru. To kind of refer to I guess it's kind of normalizing a phrase in a bit, but it's really showing like a relationship with, so to speak. I'm gonna have to think about that more. Like a convenience store with a restaurant or something. And then there was the E, which could have been with des and ka. And that was more because it was using it as a permissive phrase. And 2, vocabulary. Screwed up on one of, like, some of the kana. We had oh, was it part of it? No. Magaru? I think the ga was... Yeah, see, I have to look at this. It was done in a more of a state, which may require iru. I'll take a look at that in a bit here. And then wasureru. Oops. Bad. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna take a look at those entries now. How do I... the way to look up grammar? And I do... oh, it just... okay, so it does recognize it, right? Was it actually this one? No, 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 no. Wait. Yes. Yeah, describing the noun that follows. Okay. Okay. And then... okay. Oh, okay, it's on the outside. What does A7 mean? Not a... fine. Don't worry about it until it comes up. Alright, let's go into our grammar stuff. Alright, so we have kedo for but. Do we have any other buts? Of any other any other buts? It's our second conjunctive. Right. Gotta remember that nouns and non-adjectives require da. Right. Kedo is one of the common conjunction particles in Japanese. These are particles that function by connecting the A and B parts of a sentence. It all works very similar to ga in that it highlights while thinking about A, B, right? This means that kedo will often come across as but. English. So we do have one. Or actually, we might not have this particular grammar point about ga as opposed to ga. As opposed to its subject marker or marking a subject.
毎日泳ぐけど今日は泳がない。北海道は寒いけど綺麗。田舎は静かだけど不便だ。
Oh, hey, Naka. That's an
田舎は静かだけど不便だ。これはステーキだけど冷たい。
That one's a weird one. I was like, wait a minute. As can be seen from these examples, just like many other grammatical instructions, dot will be required when using kedo after a non-adjective or noun, right? Kedo is just a modern, casual version of keredomo. Please see below for a list of the most casual to the most formal variations. Kedo, kedomo, kedomo, keredo, keredomo, ga, and formal. Okay. Yeah, like, so ga is that. Fair enough.
私は肉を食べるけども野菜も好き。
野菜も好き。Okay.
私は水が怖いけれど泳ぐのが好きです。お酒は飲むけれどもワインは飲まないです。沖縄は綺麗ですが暑いです。
Yeah, I'm far more accustomed to using the nga. The phrase after kedo will often be omitted if it is obvious or the speaker does not want to say. Yeah, you just end basically. You just end at the end. Yep. パソコンはないけど it's a trade-off. Assumed. Here's the guy. Okay, so we didn't have the literal point yet. I think we're okay. I'll wait till those points come up. Here it is. Got okay. And take a des. Interesting. That's different. As a particle, ga has several different uses in Japanese. However, each of these different uses share a common theme. That theme expresses highlighting A as important. B. In this use, ga comes across as but or however in English. This nuance of ga is used directly after any form of a verb. Okay, right? Or e adjective. It requires one of the conjugations of dot and des before it when it used with a noun or not. Yep, okay.
毎日走るが運動は嫌い。このカレーは辛いが美味しい。
Okay, so those are verb, e adjective, and then we have our non-adjective.
車は便利だが危ない。
And then our noun.
お金は大切だが時間も大切だ。
Oh, that's it. Oh no, that's not. That's just it didn't. That's another non-adjective. Or, I mean, taisetsu. It's not, yeah. Or, huh. Actually, this. Okay. From these examples, we can see that ga is simply highlighting that while A is important, there's extra information. Ga will, with the meaning of but, is considered to be very formal, but this is due to it sounding quite direct and asserting that there is extra information. Caution, sometimes a statement will end when ga. In these cases, it just means that more, but it is obvious, so it doesn't. So, まあ、綺麗ですが。Synonyms. Interesting. Oh, they're gonna go over all the extents, right? So けれども we went over like the hierarchy, right? And then we have けど and だけど oh, that's just the same. Wait. And けど express contrast or transition similar to but, right? The difference is that ga is more formal written style while けど is more colloquial but can also be used at the... Okay, that's just grouped together. It's not marked until I actually complete the review. And then we have Naga des. The difference is that ga follows directly after an e adjective. Oh, okay, that's the... Why are these listed as separate points? Or this... Huh. Interesting. Oh, wait for those. Okay. Ichidan. Right, Ichidan. Negative past. When a past negative sentence has a connection with the present. For example, something was expected to happen, but it has not happened for the moment. The verb is we pay form plus E. And then masen construction is that. Okay, what up? Right, masen deshita. Nakatta desu. Okay. Right. Alright, in order to form the negative past form of do verbs, you will need to remove the do and then follow it with the auxiliary nai or mas conjugated in their past forms. This will either be, yeah, nakatta. Or masen deshita. Okay. How do they describe this? Move it and follow with the ox. Alright, that's fine.
今朝ニュースを見なかった。ゴミを捨てませんでした。
A semi-polite form may also be used as constructed by using nakatta and simply adding this at the end. Not grammatically correct, this is so common that most are correct.
ライトが消えなかったです。
Okay. Right. What is this one? Oh, probably the next lesson. Okay. Alright, so now we have the u verbs or the go down verbs. When a past negative sentence has a connection with the present, right, for example. Okay, so then we go to the verb te, like the te form plus E. Or not. Oh no, we go to the always go to the E for light. But then we go to the for standard. Right. For a second. Yep, okay. In order to make the negative past form of boot verbs, you will need to change the last kana of the verb into the a sound kana from the same column. Okay. From the same row. Or wa if the original kana was u, right? After this, the a sound kana will be followed by nai or mas conjugated into their past form. This is either nakatta or masen deshita. For the masen deshita form, rather than the final kana changing to the a sound kana from the same row, it will change to the e sound kana from the same row. I guess you can kind of view it as the same column actually, now that I think about it. No. No, it's still row to me. So basically every instance of column is row. Right. If it's ku, for example, this rows is right this way. Oops. This is a row. So if it's under ku, you're looking for the I can kind of see it that way. Like you're looking for this column here. You can kind of see what they mean by the same column. Sort of. That's one extra step because they're talking about changing the ending of the in ku. So you're here and you're going to either a different column. That's fair. Actually, that's fair. Well, it will change the E sound kind of from the same column. No, that's not. So they're referring to the lateral movement of the ending, which I consider as a row. And then your columns are your sound columns. These are the sound columns. So it's kind of like half and half. Change the last kind of into the from the... See, it's not the same column. It's a different column. So that's kind of where I'm getting stuck on a little bit. So this ending, you're actually switching columns. You're moving laterally. So you're actually moving to the column. But you are conjugating or you're changing the ending to the same column for all the endings. Right, the ka, sa, na, right? These are, it's the same column going this way. It doesn't really matter all that much as long as you know what they're referring to. The negative past form is used to convey that something did not happen or was not. Yes.
私は公園で遊ばなかった。
So bu to bu, moving all the way to a, like ba. Bu to ba.
あなたの車は洗わなかった。
This is u, so u moves to wa.
そこに置きませんでした。
Ku to ki, because formal, right?
そこには本がありませんでした。
Again, polite. Semi-polite form may be used as conjugation and then adding des at the end, right? Not grammatically correct and wavy, but it's so common, right?
彼とは話さなかったです。
Okay. Notice that the use of to and wa together. Double particles usage is common when presenting a topic in Japanese. Yeah. A lot. Yep. Aru is an exception to the regular conjugation rules of verbs. Yeah, because it would be just nakatta, like nai. Similar. It follows from nai, so you use nai and then conjugate, or at the end. The casual past negative is not aranakatta, but simply nakatta. However, the polite past negative form conjugation in the same way as would be expected for adjectives. Yeah. ありませんでした。
紙がなかった。紙がありませんでした。
She done negative. Oh yeah. We already got this. It's not complete yet. Te as a linker, yes, as a conjugation link, and then teiru is often shortened to teru. This applies to all tenses, including teru, tete, teta, and even temas. Interesting. しかありませんでした。Wait, お疲れ。What the? Oh, Shin? Wait. What? Me? Yeah. There's no God? Or what? Wait. All right. I suppose. I don't. Is there some sort of meaning behind why you're saying that? All right. Anyways. Is that supposed to be a reference? Because the example sentence was kami as in paper, just a joke. I see. I mean, there wouldn't be enough context to know if you're referring to kami or kami. So I guess that it is the joke. Doesn't quite work as a written phrase, unfortunately for me. I get it. I get it now after you explain that you're making a pun. Would I ever get it? I'm not entirely sure. I don't think I would ever get it because of it being written. Okay, so conjunctive particle. All right. Uh-huh. And then we have our exceptions. Am I gonna be I have to take some time for the exceptions. West. And pass. don't know if I've seen. Oh, interesting. I have not. But it actually has two forms, and it's listed as a different form. It's written as ch, or no, ti, as opposed to qing. Interesting. Into. Alright. In Japanese, te is a very important conjunction particle that can be used with many different structures when it is partnered with a verb, right? It has special conjunction rules depending on whether it is being added to a ru verb or a u verb. In the case of u verbs, oh, it's a shame that it's probably the unit right after this. It also depends on what the preceding kana is, right? For u verbs. The most common translation in any situation is just an or then, due to be being highlighted as something that happens or happened after a.
山を登って休む。
休む. So, oboru. So it's a do verb. So you drop inte. Do, what is it? Ryutsu, right? Ryutsu. Okay.
食べて寝る。
食べて寝る. And then this is a how do they call it? A do verb, but not a u verb ending in do. Usually I just refer to these as godan and ichiban, which is probably what the convention I'll probably continue to use. In these examples, we can see that te basically means a, te, b equals a happen, then b. However, this is only when it is linked to another verb. Sometimes the te form appears as de. This is a change that happens throughout the course of history, to explain why some of them end up like nde, and your goose to your ide, or ida, or the corresponding change. This is a change that happens throughout the course of it in order to make sentences flow more smoothly. Despite this, there's no difference in meaning between de and de as a vocal change, right?
本を読んで返す。遊んで帰る。
遊んで返す. So 遊ぶ into us 遊んで and then 読む to 読んで. So that's the mubu, the new bumu. Although new is really rare most of the example, it often just most of the time is shinu. Now we got a bunch of boos and moos. The easiest way to identify whether to use te and de is by looking at the preceding kana. If the plain dictionary form of the verb finishes in gu, nu, bu, mu, then de will be used along with da as opposed to ta. Caution, there are several irregular verbs when it comes to te form conjugation. Let's look at an example of each one. The last one, haven't seen actually. 学校に行って勉強する so 行く right? Oh no, yeah. 行く if it was く it could have been 行って but it's right. 行って and we have おい diet dang, that's interesting combination. ダイエットして skinny. I just yeah, yes it is. Yes, it is. Diet skinny. Diet skinning you up, like thinning down or losing weight. 公園に来て遊ぶ Hey, hang on. So, する right? して right? I think I'm comfortable with that. 行く and する comfortable with. 切る I mean 来る sorry 来る we're okay with 来る largely. Not so, these two are not so much. Although I can see I'm not sure how often I say but ute. So you preserve. Okay. Okay. So 答えを問って書く to get permission. Allow. Yeah, that is allow or able, allow. Okay. 許可を取って取って信号する Oh yeah 実行する act out interesting. Apart from these 5, the rules of te form conjugation are 100% consistent. Unless colloquial speak changes it. I totally understand the whole idea of 100% consistency. But man, whenever you have technicalities and grammatically correct, but spoken accepted as true, 100% consistent is an interesting, bold flavor. Yeah. I think we're in the interest of time. I think we're gonna do related things in retrospect, right? So I think what I would do starting like next month or something is to read all the ones that are already existing. So related, we have past tense, right? So this would be the interesting. Right, we need to have known how to do the past tense, which is ha as opposed to he. And then where there is de, there is da, right? Applying to the same groups, which is the do, right? Do utsu, right? Do utsu, which becomes clap ta, right? And then we have the numu, we had the I've got the ku and gu, group, which is the ta. Oh no, it's just ta actually. I take it back. We're talking about just the standard because the formal is okay. Formal or polite is okay. So it's just ta. So then there's the ta, right? With their... Oh, actually, I take it back. I might actually have to look at this again. Hold up. I want to look at this again. Yes. Okay. What I had to double check. So that's good. We're basically only going over in the head everything that has one of these blue buttons now as reinforcement, right? So then we have the ita next to the ide, ite, right? And then the last group is all the right, unda. Right, das. And then last one, and then the very last one, shita. Which is how I kind of keep up with suru. For those specific ones, though, it actually changes there, like in some of them. And then we have the dictionary form, so go down verbs, and then their relation to their ichidan counterpart, the negative ichidan counterpart, or we simply add te. Then we have the ichidan, right? The ichidan verbs entry, and then the rest we'll come back to. So that's probably going to be the routine eventually. We'll get into the routine of doing that, which is I'm still going to look at synonym and antonyms because they're incredibly valuable to me. It creates a relationship. And then the related tab will be used to focus on all the concepts that are already related because we want to form associations with existing things that are... Granted, a lot of these other things are already in existence, but in order for me to like prioritize and reinforce the things I'm responsible for all along the way, we'll do it that way. Eventually all of these are going to lit up, right? Because they also retroactively have the same related points at a later point. So when this point comes up, for example, many of these things are going to light up. If these one, like when we get to this point, many of these other points are going to light up as well. That's probably what I'm going to do in the interest of time. Okay. I don't know. I'm thinking of doing a consolidation. So we're going to consolidate practice after each deck. So after N5, we'll consolidate for like maybe a week or two before moving to like N4, since these things are blocked off. So vocabulary and grammar are blocked off. We're gonna use a different strategy here. Meanwhile, like Wanikani and Hanzahiro, it's continuous, right? I did take there is vacation mode, but that vacation mode was just the 5 days I'm out of town, which is true for every single year. So for now, I have to decide when the block is complete, right? When we complete the block, what does 9 out of 12 mean? Oh, is that the... No? Interesting. Anyways, that's kind of my tentative thoughts right now. I'm trying to sort out how I'm gonna go about it, like the pseudo scheduling. I obviously don't agree with SRS in many ways, but agreeing is maybe agreeing is not quite the word, but more like if you study for a very long time and you learn a lot of things from a very long time, you kind of have to tweak it, right? And tweaking it simply means that there isn't a one size fits all most of the time. The more nuance you get, right, the more you do this often, you're inevitably going to incorporate tweaking things, which can be on the platform itself. Like you can tweak it literally on the platform itself. In this case, I'm trying to use what they give me and then tweak it based on what they give me. Miscellaneous. Wait, I haven't seen a miscellaneous column. Have I? Please do for me. Okay, same deal. We're probably gonna treat this the same deal, right? All right. Go in and see how they represent it in a prompt. I should have went over that. Okay. Oh, oops. Wait. Oh, yeah.
便利だけど高い。
Right, gotta remember the non-adjective and the noun. Right, okay, so they accept a slightly formal, okay, slightly more formal. I do hear both of these in construction. Okay. Okay, so literary article construction. Okay, so they're gonna use literary for
早いですが起きます。
That is true. Now that I think about it, upon reflection, yeah, I don't. For me, the exposure is almost exclusively for instructional material and written material. When I think about it, like more than 80% of the time. Oops.
Sushi 寿司は食べなかった。寿司は食べなかったです。寿司は食べませんでした。
Trying to think, like, it's seen, like, in my head, I'm seeing it more like this, just to review the other ones, right? And then this becomes this. This is a relationship between this and this. Oh, I forgot the ikai.
昨日行かなかった。昨日行かなかったです。昨日行きませんでした。
Hang on. I need to look at something here. I want to look at this. Okay. Interesting. Okay, it's kind of for iku, right? It's whenever I'm not sure if the idea is it's whenever it ends up being next to an E, if following the same. I don't know if that's intentional. So this is ita as opposed to ita, right? And then the te as opposed to ite, it becomes ite, or not ite, but hold up. Oh no, I've already forgotten. Wait. Uh-oh. Was it this one? Yeah. Yeah, it follows. Okay. But it's okay. Not alright, alright. We'll see. We'll see. Whoops. Sorry. That's not right. We're here. Okay. Interesting. I'm thinking of it more from a sound perspective. Oh, I have to type the rest.
食べる食べて
I'm like conjugating the end, but I'm not like writing the rest. I'm not writing the stem. I keep dropping the stem. All right. And let's continue to our vocab. This will be interesting for sure. Okay, hanbun. 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 Yeah, fair enough. Isha? Oh, Isha-san for polite speech. Oh, interesting. That is certainly very polite. Okay, aru. Alright, we got aru. Doesn't say anything about it. Okay, so their vocabulary entries don't necessarily say how often they appear as kana. You just gotta read here. At the moment, there might have been, is there a relation? Yeah, it might have been mentioned. I don't remember. It might have been mentioned in the aru grammar card because we went through existence. Okay, jikan, jikan, right? Jikan. Hey, speaking of ami, interesting. Kisaten, as opposed to any others. Actually, let me sure I know. Right. Okay. And this was a special read, so okay. Right. Sato. Anjobi. Ryugakusei. Gaikokujin. Right. Gaikokujin. Instead of gaikokujin. Right. Gaikokujin versus gaikokujin. Or gaikokujin. So this is that classical, the lipness test, right? Yeah. This, gaikokujin. And then we have gaikokujin. And then gaikokujin. Dashin. Fair enough. Moving picture movie. Abbreviation. Hodong. Hodong. Oh, this doesn't work out though in this way. A moving picture. Right. 動物 読み物 足 I'm not sure if I've encountered a hush like hush hush like this way, the other way, hush. Yeah. And then hashi. 番号。番号。
番号。
番号。Okay, alright. 弟。Brother-in-law. But younger. Right. Yeah, and then archaic use, pupil. I can understand the archaic use. Okay. Kau. Among many kau, there is also an overlapping kau, but we can see which one it is. Oh, that's interesting. To incur someone's... Okay. To incur someone's anger. Evoke to arouse. To win. Oh, I guess it has a negative and positive pivot. Accept, to take on, to take up. Interesting. Intriguing. Kind of reminds me of like ukeru or something. To accept, to take on, to take up. To pay for. Oh, right. Yes. And then we're back to either paying for something or to buy. Kudamono. Fair enough. No. Right. And Hiru. To take the blame or respond, to bear. Ah, yeah. Yes, this would be the one. To take the blame or to bear. It's also part of like burden, carrying something, bearing the like suffering, bearing the weight, bearing the responsibility. All right. Wrong.
梨を半分食べる。
半分。
私の父は医者だ。
What? Oh.
机の上にリンゴが3個ある。
Right.
1時間は60分です。
この紙は薄いです。
Yeah,薄い. Don't use that too often.
私は喫茶店にいます。
砂糖が欲しい。
あなたの誕生日はいつですか？
Oops.
彼は留学生ですか？
私の夫は外国人です。
この写真は古いです。
父は動物が大好きだ。
飲み物のメニューをください。
この橋は長いです。
あなたの電話の番号は何？
こちらが私の弟です。
かわいい財布を買う。
I'm basically just I'm basically just like mouthing and breathing the things out in order to like kind of not strain my voice much. Should one brush one's teeth before or after breakfast? You've heard different opinions. Please guide. I have no idea. You do you. My commentary on that is whichever is more consistent. If brushing teeth is laborious and requires that you need a reinforcement for habit formation, then you would do it before. And if you find it rewarding and it creates catharsis and feeling, then you do it after. This is in terms of habit formation. So if your established habit is, if you already have a habit of before, then the answer is before. If you already do it after, the answer is after. This is just commentary. However, if it's not a habit yet, and you're in reinforcement stage, this is what you're asking about. Usually you're asking about reinforcement when you ask someone guidance. So reinforcement requires association in this case. So maybe you should ask your dentist. I'm sure they can do both, right, James? They can do both. So that would be a maybe you should Google it situation, but let's just think about trying to answer the person as opposed to deflecting and deferring. But so if say you've already asked your dentist or whatever your dentist is suggesting, which is also subject to change in opinions because there are differing opinions, you have habit. So when we're referring to reinforcement, if you're acquiring a new habit, I still haven't gotten to the punchline about the dentist thing yet, but if you're acquiring a habit, so you need to acquire reinforcement, the idea is whatever you're currently doing, is it a reward? As in, is it an overall positive thing? If brushing your teeth is a positive thing, then you can choose when to use it. You can do before or after, coupled with your breakfast. Because a positively reinforced habit can be moved very easily between before or after. It is the vehicle for that. So breakfast would be the trigger. If breakfast is a positive thing, then you can do either before or after. This is specifically for establishing this reinforcement will then establish a new habit. Obviously, this is assuming that you want to change something. So that would be whichever one is positive. You usually either do it last or you need a reinforcement for that habit. Otherwise, in terms of you're asking, should one, you didn't ask if it was healthier, or I'm guessing when you say should, you're making the leap of logic for healthier. Which, when you're asking about healthy, yes, that would be asking for a dentist's opinion. And I am not a dentist, right? This is not me. I'm not a dentist. However, when it comes to, instead of thinking of it as healthier, dentist is in the idea of prevention. So these are preventive measures. And preventive measures is often predicated on how well you can establish the habit. And then it goes back to this perspective. So the dentist would say, in my opinion, again, I'm not a dentist, so my opinion flows into this, is whichever is more consistent. Because if you make a dentist argue that, oh, it's always better before, or it's always better after, it would not be as good as doing neither of these. So that's why I decided to view it from a habit standpoint. And it's whichever one you either already do, or if you're choosing to change something upon asking your dentist, then your dentist might say the same thing and you're like, good, you change nothing. If they say it's different, then I go back to reinforcement. Can you do it? If you're unable to do it, then trying to change a habit to make it negative, right? It's kind of like let's just do, instead of teeth, let's do study, so we can make it back to language learning, right? Study. If study is a negative component and you're trying to make it into a habit, for example, we'll change it up. Is it better to study before pleasure? We'll use video games, I guess. Actually, we'll use social media. Is study better before social media or after social media? This is something I can sort of comment on as opposed to a dentist. So since I'm not a dentist, right? I'm not a dentist. But I would say reasonably, unofficially, I am someone who's particularly excellent at executive function. And oftentimes when we talk about like which is better, like if you have to brush your teeth, the answer is you should brush your teeth. So before or after, if you brush your teeth, that is what I think of as executive function. And then you can choose before or after, of course, asking an expert. But when it comes to studying, you can actually, it's the same relationship actually. You can do either. If studying is a positive thing, then you can move it anywhere. So brushing your teeth is very similar. If you like brushing your teeth, you can do before and after, whichever one you like, right? After adjusting a dentist. However, if studying is negative, as in it's not a new habit yet, not a habit, and you want to make it to become a habit, usually you're studying, you study first. And then you follow it up by pleasure or the reward. Now, how does this relate to brushing your teeth? A lot of people tend to classically brush before and then eat after. Because eating is considered the positive reward for brushing your teeth, which is often negative. For like, I don't know, younger people, like 17-year-olds to 20-year-olds, brushing your teeth is preventive, but it doesn't quite have an overall, and we're talking about like general, like I'm gonna say greater than 50% younger people would say brushing your teeth is negative. So you typically do it before, and then the eating is the reward for brushing your teeth. So oftentimes this is, quote, healthier from my perspective, not from a dentist's perspective, from my perspective, because it forms a habit. It forms a successful habit loop. So you can easily get up. It's like, oh, I'm about to eat breakfast. I'm looking forward to breakfast. I should brush my teeth before. Because in order to allow yourself that breakfast, you have to brush your teeth. If brushing your teeth is positive, then you can move it anywhere because the habit will still happen. This is assuming that your dentist is probably going to say you should brush your teeth, whether it's before or after. You should brush your teeth on a regular basis. So that means forming a habit. Studying is very similar. If studying is positive, like for me, I like studying. The way you convert the stuff to positive is they become a habit. So I have a habit of studying things. Not a lot of people have a habit of studying things. So they have to establish that. So they have to study before they do something good in order to form the habit. Brushing your teeth, you can choose once you have a reward system, and when brushing your teeth becomes a habit, then people start arguing about whether one should brush teeth before or after, because they have the ability to move their brushing teeth habit anywhere they want. So ultimately, if I had to step into the shoes of the dentist is going to say, as long as you're brushing your teeth, it's good. Whether it's before or after, there's not, in my opinion, there's not statistical evidence that would say that is statistically, incredibly statistically significant. It's kind of like comparing Oral-B, right? Rotational mechanical toothbrush versus a vibrational, like single access vibrational one. I would say both of them would be gets you like 80 to 90% of the way, despite one being potentially inferior. So in this case, brushing or before or after is going to be something like that. And you'll probably get different opinions from dentists as well. However, that's a little overstepping. So again, I'm not a dentist. Probably should ask a dentist. What I have to offer is about habit formation. If you're not forming the habit, then not brushing your teeth is terrifying. And I don't know what is it, the way you phrase things and the way you talk about things, but I'll entertain the idea that you occasionally ask these things because it's not like some fishing expedition for something else, right? So there you go. Let's practice in offering something that you may or may not have asked. Okay. Anyways.
その果物が欲しい。
あの家は私の家です。
That is a little concerning. That's what? I am drawing a blank on where, and that's unfortunate. Oh, wrong ending, right? You did.
T シャツを着る。
I was thinking of listen. All right. $113. Because it added 25 to the previous? Oh no, because time eclipsed. Oh, time did eclipse. Okay. We're separating these. We start with grammar first, because I need to keep these separate for now. We're not mixing them together.
Okay.
That's okay. Okay. Is the grammar point? Is the grammar tab specifically for suited? Huh.
アメリカから来ました。
これは便利なツールです。
Okay, those are fine. Still. Okay, this one's fine
明
too.
日もいいですか？
昨日テレビを見た。昨日テレビを見ました。
Okay, so these are fine as well. Right, where this would be the thing on Ichidan and past standard. And then when they mean standard, they don't mean... Oh no, they do mean... Yeah. Wait, yeah, no, they do mean standard. Standard is standard, okay. Emphasis on effect. So the emphasis on effect is... Oh no, it's the other way around.
今日は時間がないので、明日に漢字を教えます。
Okay, wait. Oh yeah, it's referring to the effect as in like not the effect after the cause, but the effect of the thing that's happening. Ah, man. I'm not sure if I like the word effect on here, but effect before. Okay. This one's, the notation on this one's pretty nice. Yeah.
体が大きい。
Sizing. Okay. And then this is the thing from yesterday that I was a little bit...
綺麗な池がある公園。
Right. Saying there's something else characterizing the noun after, right? That you dislike. It's not quite there. I think maybe this is just we're doing the this is specifically on Oops, I've got the na.
嫌いな食べ物がありますか？
I think the grammar is legitimately just on kirai. Pretty sure it's just on kirai because there's a grammar on tsuki as well, which is the non-adjective. Both of them are non-adjective. This is actually one of the special non-adjectives that end with an e, right? So it's ski. That's what the grammar point was on. One of the grammar points. So,
それは暑いよ。
okay. Negative, okay. Standard. Oh,
今日は寒くない。
right. Negative, standard, and e adjective. I need to clarify something. Do I have na yet? No, I do not. We did not cover janai. Okay, for na adjective yet. Okay. I'm thinking of relationships now as well. Making sure that I either have it or I don't, but it doesn't hurt to think about them. So always constantly asking, right? Na adjective, e adjective, godan, ichidan, what type of form we're using, the steps, and it's not really like you're gonna do this in real time or not. The idea is like I'm curious about the relationships. Okay. Arco and confirming.
Sensei no desu ne.
Is that the only one? Oh. I kind of thought there were at least one other alternative. Oh, wait, just kidding. I already the desk is already there. It's fine. Okay. I think this is a test for
大切な人。
友達も will you non-pass polite.
Tomodachi mo kimasu ka?
런던에 flew? Okay, so we're doing Godan now, right?
ロンドンへ飛んだ。ロンドンへ飛びました。
Okay. I really like that they show both. Despite only asking for one, they do the audio and the contrast with both. I kinda would like. I'm not. I mean, I'm the kind of dude that would say, despite their alternatives, having all the alternatives displayed next to each other is fantastic by automatic. Actually, let me see if that's a thing. I don't think so, right? Oh, auto expand in no, not expand. I don't want the info thing. I want hide the review SRS. Automatically fill in the remainder of partially correct. I still like this. This one's fine. Undo action. Change the behavior. Oh. Okay, so there isn't view order? No, that doesn't. There isn't one where it just shows like vomits. It vomits all the alternatives and highlights the thing. I still like that they do it for the polite versus standard situation. And I kind of don't mind it if it did it for others too. It doesn't do it for things like the difference between like Noa and Noga, right? Or something where the particles can shift. Or like the contrast between e, ni, despite them not answering the actual question, but it's contrasting to it. Or contrasting or comparing to it, right? Oh, excess information basically. I kind of like if they were automatic. And all the alternative answers to be displayed at the same time. After adjective? No. For a noun, so oh. Oh no, this is because we're doing like actually no, this would be today's thing. Oh, like emphasis on the cause. Okay, so now we're doing like cause is still before as opposed to the effect, right? The effect and cause. So that would be you need a oh yeah, I forgot the na. Whoops. I deleted the na. Oh, has a weaker nuance, so the cause is the weaker nuance? Like because it's candy. Like
お菓子だから甘い。
okay, hold up. So it's after. No, I don't understand how they're emphasizing cause. Hang on. Right, that's fine. Oh, this is the thing about the reason and no, it doesn't help me differentiate. Emphasis on cause. Depending on which part of the sentence, what comes before and after is often translated because, or in these cases, it just means to be used in any type because. Huh. Alright, let me see the node. Kara and node both expresses a cause or reason, similar to the English A, so B. The reason comes first, followed by kara, and then the result. So it's an emphasis on cause, which is the reason, right? Kara is more colloquial, used in everyday speech and often for personal and emotional statements. Node is slightly more formal and tends to be used for more objective statements. Does that help me distinguish? Not particularly. Emphasis on cause. Node, this means that it connects two parts. The connection that node makes is similar to kara, meaning that construction is different. One is right. When used, sense puts emphasis on the sentence as a whole or on the effects paused. Okay, so we're gonna go with the idea that oh no, but it's kind of both. Interesting. All right. I'm gonna write a note about this. This is probably one that I'm gonna have to fill out here. So we have dakara, and it's gonna be nanode for, and then the phrase emphasis on cause is kind of like tripping me up. Okay, let's see what the other one is.
好きな人がいますか?
This is probably the ski card, and it is also non-adjective.
バスで学校に行く。
What? Did you include something? Oh. I need to normalize the whole phrase before.
私はラーメンを食べるのが好きです。
Okay, well, new day, new review, new insights. That's for sure. All right, I need to think of a different routine for vocabulary. Okay. Anyway.
この迷路を出るまでに1時間以上かかった。
あなたはこの国旗の国名を知っていますか?
Interesting, like these, using this 国名。
毎日コーヒーを飲むのは妻だ。
ここに青のペンがあります。
子供のためにジュースを買う。
ために。
彼女はどんな仕事をしていますか？
おいしいご飯を食べて学校へ行く。
彼女は仕事をしていますか？
家の床が冷たい。
No, not Boku. What's little boy? I guess. Casual, soft sounding boyo. What do we have for probably like oh no wait. It oh. Masculine. The closest thing I can think of is like yeah, the closest thing I can think of is like Ototo. What? Oh boy. Other than that, like Boku.
僕、お名前は？
What did I type the first time? I might have typed it incorrectly. I don't know what I typed for Boku the second time. It was like right after I typed Ototo. That's okay. Typos and typos.
鉛筆で字を書く。
明るすぎるのでカーテンを閉めてください。
They did change that up actually. Interesting. I'm more used to seeing it this way, but I typed the only entry that I had without like I forgot to read skiru. Interesting. Can we add something to be oh.
私のお弁当はどれ？
独り言。古い下着を処分しなくちゃ。
And that's dispose. So you make it suru. 処分する。処分じゃなかしなくちゃ。なくちゃ。
教室でクラスメートとハンカチ落としをして遊ぶ。
すみません、バス停はどこですか？
写真を見ながら。これは私の父です。
恋バナをする女子。私は筋肉がたくさんある強い人がタイプです。
この定規は長い。
彼はとても元気です。
彼女は大学生じゃなかった。社会人だった。
社会人だった。A working adult.
父は病院で働いています。
愚痴を言う。あの上司はとても好きになれない。
その女の人は私の姉です。
Oh, it's flying by. Flying by, you say. As in passing. Oh no. Wait. Thing. How do we go? It's not that. No. Is it? There's no way, right? My only thing I can think of is I was about to say okay, so there's feeling attached. It's more like passing. I'm looking for something along the lines of passing through. Or is it like well, I guess we're gonna write this too, so okay, let's look at this. We have time, right? This is seams here. I was thinking maybe like in absence seems as by. Oh, I know. Probably 早く。
時が経つのが早く感じます。
So flying by in the terms of quick flying by. Okay. I see. I wrote that down, so we have 2 points today so far. 今日の夕飯は何ですか?
その日は雨でした。
彼女はとても可愛いけど、How did we do the kiddo? Oh, kiddo, but, right. And then, okoru. Angry? Mad? 怒ると兄のようになります。She becomes like mad as a demon, like a demon. Okay, sure. Which news are we thinking of here, though?
アイドルが出演しているニュースの番組が人気になっている。
It's describing a program.
校長先生、学校は勉強をする場所だ。
夏休みはいつまでか知っていますか？
今日は気温が40度なので、外には出ないつもりだ。
熱々の鍋を素手で持ってはいけません。
There's nabe.
この服は高いです。
転校する生徒、僕のことを忘れないでください。
この食べ物は冷蔵庫で保管した方がいい。
Dang, I wasn't expecting to see Tambo to turn over or to plow? Wait. I read turnover. I specifically read turnover as interesting today. What was the way to turn over something? I'm gonna say
田んぼを返す。
yeah, I specifically remember saying ice and then turn over and return. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Turnover. Yeah, to turn something over. 難しいね。
この問題は難しい。
サッカーをする。
私は生の魚が嫌いだ。なので寿司も刺身も嫌いだ。
なので
観光ガイド、ここからトイレまでは500メートルあります。
そのカバンは誰のものですか？
その店ではフォーマルな格好をしなくてはいけない。
なくてははい。
一緒に図書館で勉強をしませんか？
アメリカと日本は遠い。
父は毎朝新聞を読みます。
あなたは寿司が好きですか？
子供、テレビがあるキャンプ場に行きたい。
コロナ禍の学生、スポーツをするときはマスクを外してもいいですか？
マスク、oh. That there how about removing oh they're not going over there. Yeah, that's
そこ
fine.
の家に住んでいるのは僕の祖父母です。
このケーキは美味しいです。
新聞を配る。
But wait, baru. Baru. Or to hang out? Oh yeah, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Twist. Oh,
ネクタイが曲がる。
I didn't make sense. I was thinking naru? No, not naru. Or ne? Naru. Nageru? What am I thinking of? I see the character in my head, but I don't see it like nen. I'm thinking of nen. Let's see here. You thought of hineru? Oh yeah, hineru. Yeah, it's hineru. Yeah, I'm thinking of hineru too. And like I only remember the onyomi, which was like nen. Yeah, hineru was immediately what I was thinking of. I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe. So here's the test, right? I'm curious. In the future, how many alternatives there could be, or do they become more specific? Or they become more specific when they're writing out the target thing, right? They add like a lot of parentheses. I'm genuinely curious how they're going to do this in the future.
私は絵を描きたい。
This is what I kind of missed with Wanikani. I miss constantly reading the top, and I decide to display the sentences again because after I read this, I want to also like quickly connect certain things very quickly. But I do miss, despite like with or without. Wanikani obviously reads out all the words and or reads out all the words with the help of the three people, right? For myself, regardless, it's nice to constantly be reading these, and it's like this is what I'm staring at. I'm not staring at, as much as it simplifies things and overwhelming, like you're just staring at like one word, right, in the middle here, and then the little sentences on the bottom, while it's obfuscated, I actually added it after the fact. I do quite enjoy seeing this stuff here. It gives me a lot of thought and preponderance. Hajime ni? For the first time. Wait, what's another way to hold up? What's another thing for the first time? Did I just misspell it? Oh, no. Wait. Hajimete. I have the wrong ending.
今日初めてサッカーをしました。
私の妹は8歳です。
晩になると寒くなる。ね？寒くなる。Okay, yeah, become. Yeah, naru, and then become cold. Yes. Haven't gotten to that yet. Using naru and converting, that one would be like a conversion quote unquote a conjugated form of an e adjective into ku and adding naru with which is the plain form of to become, so to get cold or to become cold. Not yet, but
本社を東京に置く。
oh, I can't back up. I saw a bunch of like alternatives. That's what I mean. Every time I see those little dots show up, I kind of just want to see all of them. But I understand that other people would not want that. But I like the idea of I just get blasted with all the alternatives because my mind would not be engaged as much. And every time I see those dots, I'm like, dang it, I wanted to click on those dots. I'll remember later. Whoops.
家から映画館まで5キロほどあります。
まだ夕方の4時ですが、もう夫が家に帰ってきました。
I really love enjoying hearing the thing and reading along with it. I absolutely love like that. This is my default. So I've already transitioned into this where when I'm listening to like on YouTube and whatnot, I read along with the audio that I'm listening to. So it's kind of like the same. People don't do this again, but for myself, I read English when watching in English as well. It's very much like video games. My default habit is I read along as I'm hearing the things. So I'm constantly always doing both. I want to read the stuff and hear the stuff and lip the stuff all at the same time. So like when there's no audio, right? When there's no audio, I would read it out loud in my own impressions of it. So I do a lot of reciting as well when I'm reading video game dialogue and whatnot. So doing it this format is so much more cathartic for me as a routine, like my routine, compared to the uphill I needed to adapt really like in a very different way when I was using Wanikani. It's not the same for Hanzahiro because only a month in they decide to add the entire sentence. And they even do it unnaturally where they would make an audio cue for the partial stuff. So like the word stuff. Some people might say that's really unnatural because you don't ever think of it as standing alone as a character or like it has to be in context. It's like that's fair enough. But for me, it's kind of like hearing a note. Like you could argue like, oh, a song is a song, but a scale is not a song, for example. It's like that's fair. But even a scale can be represented in sound. Even a sound itself can be isolated. So to me, it functions something differently. Like it doesn't, I understand that it doesn't function as a natural way of valuing your conversation, but it functions as an audio cue that is different from having zero, nothing. And the reason, if someone say like, so what's the purpose of it? It's for voice modulation. Like, you can, in both ways, it can complement how different sounds blend into other sounds, like when you're sliding up, sliding down, that kind of thing, at least in my opinion. So it's kind of like studying the mechanics over the overall picture, which is this is such a, it's a great way to follow up Wanikani. I had asked myself, what if I did it in the reverse, where I start with Bunpro and end with Wanikani? I think for now, it's definitely going to sit this way. It's really nice to be able to, and the way they're curating all the sentences feels really nice. And then I already made my comment about Hanzuhiro using like a generator. And some people could argue like, well, that's kind of weird, or this part is kind of weird. But the idea of having a tonal language is it exaggerates enough that you can make it subtle. You can tone it down. That's assuming there's a big assumption here. When you see exaggerated things, that's kind of like a beginner's ear, right? For example, that whole idea of beginner's ear. That exaggeration might actually lead to seeing the difference or hearing the difference, so to speak, and tying it with the things that you're seeing. And to me, this is presuming that the person has enough experience that they can then tweak it themselves. They can go from something that's kind of unnatural and exaggerated to something that's subtle. It's a big assumption I'm making. And nowadays, I would say if you're not one of those people who wants to make that adjustment later, it does check out that you would be scared or angry or possibly feel misled if you assume that constantly hearing an exaggerated form of something is gonna somehow give you the skills to modulate it. A great example would be TV actors versus like really, you know, like the range of TV actors or the range of movie actors when they're trying to present themselves with, like, say, a different accent, for example. And those things, often you can hear when a actor is exaggerating something, right? But when they're exaggerating something, it could be intentional versus accidental, or maybe like inexperience. And there's a rhyme and way. If you're exaggerating and you intentionally exaggerate, that's very different from unintentionally, right? From experience. So this is kind of what I mean by, sure, you might not find any use for it if you're saying that the only way you could ever learn something properly is by learning it properly in the first place. Fair enough. I mean, I have no arguments with that. For me, when I'm learning something, it's like I'm learning as I go, so I'm consistently adjusting as I'm going along. And that consistent expectation and refinement on consistently adjusting as you go means also that wherever you go, you're going to be able to adjust to it. And then everything in between. So I really like hearing and reading along. It's very refreshing.料理、right? 料理が好きだから台所にはこだわりたい。Okay. Written in kana. Oh, no, wait. No, cooking in kana. Is this? Oh, no, not cooking. Focus. Oda. And then, of course, want. This is a conjugation for the stem. Okay. I'm thinking... what am I thinking? Not that. I'm thinking like concentrate plus suru. I was the stuff that I can think of that if I were to express, I'm like, I have no idea, but let's just turn that into a suru and assume it's a suru. It's definitely. Well, we'll get to that vocabulary, I suppose. That? Oh,
母。それは何、息子。ハンドスピナーだよ。
hand spinner だよ。Oh yeah, hand spinner. Hand spinner.
友達と走る。
Alternative. Oh, because. Right, 知ります。Fair.
その家の右にはスーパーがある。
独り言。明日のテストの漢字の勉強をしなくちゃ。
このアパートは新しいです。
涼しい空気が逃げるからドアを閉めてください。
Okay. You get it. Don't think so. What are these alternatives? Oh, is it because of katakana? Doa. Doa or doa. Oh, you can extend it. Interesting. I don't know if it's still the same. It's probably still atamadaka. So doa and doa.
霊媒師。ここのレストランには幽霊がいます。
Yeah, Yure is a medium. Like re by shi.
私がこのパンを作りました。
明日旅行に行きます。
このトマトは安いです。
この町には木が多い。
独り言。日本語の勉強をしなくちゃ。
この肉はまだちゃんと焼けていません。
Oops. Ah!
あそこの建物は昔は学校だった。
She. Okay.
このパソコンよりあのパソコンの方がコスパが良い。
So, Cospa. Cospa. Yori. Interesting.
この漢字は何と読みますか？
How? Yeah.
私は彼女と遊ぶのが大好きです。
Yeah, Noga. That's one of our grammar points, right? Noga. Not that it's using one of our grammar points, existing grammar points at the moment. Oops.
教室で。あなたの机はどれですか？
英語の文法と日本語の文法は違いすぎる。
Mm. Hmm.
僕はホラーの要素がある映画が嫌いだ。
I certainly am. I'm kind of like, I'm like 15-20% lagging as I'm reading along with it. Oops.
私は歩くより走る方が好きだ。
Oops.
あなたはいつもいつお風呂に入りますか？
This photo. Okay.
この毛布は暖かいです。
彼女と初めて話すまで私は彼女が嫌いだった。
このノートには私の毎日の気分の変化が excuse me to 字ってある。Okay. 続ってある。いや、続ってある。
仕事も大切ですが、休むこともとても大切です。
Oh, wait. Hold up. Hold up. I need to pause on this one because had a difference here. What was it's oops
習字を習ったが字が上手にならなかった。
Still kind of weak.
今週は彼の誕生日です。
For now, I think we're gonna. That's okay.
彼女は世界で有名ですか？
I'll write it down though.
息子が父に鶏肉と牛肉を食べたい。
このエアコンはとても高かった。
両親が死ぬ前に私が死んではいけません。
Oh, because they're separating. Okay. Okay. How's our... Wait. How many points do we have? Oh, I'm not close to 10,000 yet. What are we looking at? We're looking at what are we 10,000? Oh yeah, we need some quiz themes. I'm digging this wrapping paper situation. Oh, what could be inside? 2,000 extra reviews. Staff favorites. What are the staff favorites? Was this always here? Staff favorites. Let's see. No man trade. Intriguing. Ooh. I like this one. This one's pretty neat. This would strike me as something I would draw. I would like to be able to do something like this, but it will require a lot of discipline. But this is something I would be able to create. Where does this go? Oh, at the top right. Alright, anyways. Ology one? That's pretty nice. That's kind of pleasant. Alright. I think, yeah, we're over 2 hours. So I think the goal now is trying to normalize Wanikani and Bunpro to the average of 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. Tomorrow is going to be a tough day because we're going to have lessons, which is still going to push for 4 hours. But some days maybe we can try to reduce it to an hour. I don't know yet, but we kind of try to normalize it. If it's past 2 hours, we're still going to get our lessons done. It's not like I'm going to cut it off at 2 hours. But once it's past 2 hours, I won't explore extra stuff until a new time. So I'm going to try to be a little bit more patient and stop ballooning more things. Although I do have some minimums that we need to do. And today, now I'm writing notes. So now I'm writing notes as we're going. So the 3 points that I'm still kind of like meh is today's points. The one with the ones with how do I notate this? I should have paid attention a little bit more to how they notated it, but so we have this versus like so we have these two. So dakara and nanode nanode for what was it? Emphasis on cause. There was another thing that was emphasis on effect, so about that a little bit later. And then hayaku, and I'm guessing it's this hayaku, right? Hayaku for flying by in the sense of quick, and as opposed to flying by as a form of passing by, like something is passing by. And then we had narau. Once again, the narau. All right. Less than yesterday. For now, I think there were like 5 points in there, really. I paused on 2 others. It's okay. Alright, so that's a wrap for our Bunpro session today. If you're gonna watch this later, arigatou gozaimasu. Right, as always, feel free to follow along, pick up Bunpro for yourself. Give it a try. You're always welcome to come on by, yap about Bunpro, maybe some language learning, or be a kind of semi-weirdo asking hot takes and opinions about things. Regardless of whether for the record, I just want to keep this in mind. Anyone is welcome to yap, ask questions, or say hi and then leave. Full range, right? Full range, feel free. However, my responses to how these work, despite against my better judgment or however I think about it, I want to make it very clear. I respond and talk and interact with a lot of different mediums, like quite a lot. So I still choose to try to answer or respond in a way that I'm committing to exercising the stuff that I know or relevance. Because for myself, and I'll continue to iterate this, you're more than welcome to come on by and do whatever it is that you do. And I will continue to do the one thing that I've committed to most of my life. And that is I spend most of my time building myself up well in the last like almost 40 years of my life, right? In order to have the privilege to consistently, quote unquote, gamble and attempt to create an investment from other people. So that doesn't mean that I don't understand or don't see what people do or their intent, or whether it's cringy or possibly dubious or suspect. I typically play into those things and try to change it. And that's kind of what happens from time to time. So whether I have something to say or whether it is appropriate or not, I typically try to phrase it in a manner that I want to demonstrate that despite some people who ask certain things or only require certain things, I will typically try to do better than that or do more than that at the cost or gambling of my privilege, which is I'm fairly happy, consistent person. I do have many things that I could do, quote unquote, with my time, and I choose to reinvest that time in any chance I'm given. So whether the intent is to try to entrap me or do whatever dubious things, the idea is that posterity is for recording, and I will continuously try to uphold my integrity as someone who is willing to consistently demonstrate to anyone out there that I'm willing to listen, discuss, encourage each other, challenge each other even. And that is why I constantly say you are more than welcome to come on by, share whatever it is on your thought, try to encourage each other to be mutually interested in one's own lives, and possibly make room for the lives of whoever you're willing to gamble on, and then turn that gamble into an investment. So there you have it. Until next time, 皆さんまたね。見てくれてありがとう. Right. Thanks for watching this particular part of the session, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna get up, stretch, walk around, and I will be back for Hanzuhiro. Thank you.